Travel alerts ahead of Hurricane Helene. You want to go, but where do I start? Some first-timer tips for traveling to Vietnam. There's a new level 4 do not travel advisory alert. Our National Public Lands Day is coming up. Overpacking and how to get over it. Stay tuned to get the details on these stories and more. Bringing you the top travel headlines from around the world now. But first, welcome to BT Travel News. I'm Kathleen, and this is your World Travel Information Channel, giving you the information to help you make informed decisions so your adventures are the safest and best they can be. We also share insights into new and innovative ways to travel around the world. Now, on to the first headline. Yesterday morning, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared an emergency for 41 out of the 67 counties in the state as potentially devastating storm continues to form in the Gulf Coast of Florida from Englewood to Indian Pass, including Tampa Bay and Charlotte Harbor. A tropical storm watch is in place to the north and south of the hurricane area, from Indian Pass to the Walton Bay County line, and from north of Bonita Beach to Englewood. The airline industry in the Caribbean has already started suspending operations for airports in the storm's trajectory path, while carriers in the U.S., including Delta and United, have begun issuing advisories and waiving change fees for impacted airports. And the cruise industry, the U.S. Coast Guard has placed Port Canaveral on alert for an approaching hurricane and warned officials about potentially dangerous conditions. Cruise lines like MSC Cruises already altered itineraries, with more companies expected to make these changes. If you are in or plan to travel to these areas in the next few days, check with your airline, check with your hotel, get in touch with your cruise line and your travel advisor to get the most up-to-date information to stay from safe. Rugged mountain trails to traditional markets, bustling nightlife, river cruising to luxury tours, mega cities to hilltop villages. Vietnam is an amazing place, but there is a ton to see. So where do you start? Well, let's consider this. What is the best time to visit? You should always consider weather, heat, humidity, tourists, crowds, and local traditions. My suggestion is always go. Most people start in Hanoi season, the bustling motorbike capital. In Hanoi, you can give the local markets a try. Wander the streets of Old Quarter and the Hoan Kiem shopping district, where streets are organized by the goods they sell. And of course, the number one thing to see in Vietnam is Ha Long Bay. And the number one way to do that is via a single day or multi-day cruise on a local houseboat. However, keep in mind that this was one of the 2024 over-touristed areas. That being said, when you do go here, find a supplier that is certified in ecotourism, uses locals to operate and supply their tours. If you are willing to see an alternative to Ha Long Bay, my suggestion is try Tom Kok, which means 3 caves. This inland version of Ha Long Bay is located south of Hanoi, near Ninh Binh. This would be a rowboat trip through giant caves underneath the karsts. Now, if you fancy a trek, you should try Phan, the highest mountain in Vietnam, about 3,143 meters high. Feeling a bit overwhelmed by the crowds of Hanoi and Ha Long Bay, take a day trip to Mai Son, the ruins of a Hindu temple complex. Pro tip here, do the sunrise tour and you'll miss most of the tourists. If canyoning, whitewater rafting, and mountain biking is more your style, there head over to find the Hang Ing Crazy House, waterfalls, and many types of outdoor adventures along with a local cafe. Now, if you're searching for a bit more tranquility, try Muine Island. Not many people visit here, and there's a there you will find museums lighthouse and war era sites. Puchi tunnels just outside the city. There are 2 sets of tunnels. Another pro tip here: Ben Dean and Ben Duok. Those are the tunnel sets, but Ben Duok is the better choice, as it's not as touristy. Most of the tourist buses do not go there. Now, I know, I didn't mention any beaches. And this is because right now, most of the beaches in Vietnam are not what you would call pristine. This part of the world is notorious for plastic pollution. Now, however, the caveat is as if you do stay at a very upscale resort, they usually Vietnam, their beaches you will find clean. Food galore. I always try street vendors or ask the locals where they eat. You'll have a much better food experience if you do this. You could always find a local food tour as well. And now I could keep going on, but for now, I hope that this gives you a good overview of some things to do on your first trip to Vietnam. You can also reach out to your local travel advisor or use ours to plan your amazing adventure. The Department of State reissued some travel warnings to emphasize the danger to U.S. citizens living in or traveling to Venezuela. Do not travel to Venezuela due to the high risk of wrongful detentions, terrorism, kidnapping, the arbitrary enforcement of local laws, crime, civil unrest, poor health, infrastructure. If you are in this area or plan on going to this area, reach out to the U.S. Department of State. Talk to your travel advisor for assistance on how to handle for your trip. Here's a quick reminder for you. Don't forget that National Public Lands Day is coming this Saturday, September the 28th. If you want to know more on how you can get involved or how you can enjoy our beautiful national park systems for free, I will link that video from last week at the end of this one. In the meantime, go out this weekend, enjoy your national parks, all for free. Unless you are a seasoned world traveler, yes, you are probably overpacking. But why? Many reasons, ranging from insecurity to inexperience and so much more. We can't just seem to stay under that weight limit for flights. Now, cruising is a whole other ballgame because, at least at this time, this year anyways, you are not limited by weight or number of bags on a cruise ship. But still, come on. 3 full-size stuffed to the gills bag for a 7-night cruise to the Caribbean in the summer? Quote, travelers are asking themselves, what if there's a heat wave and I don't have the right clothes? What if the Airbnb doesn't have shampoo? What if I get bored? Unquote, says Jeremy Merchland, president of the travel insurance company 7 Corners. Travel can be stressful and overwhelming. When you're going to a place for the first time or traveling in a new way, say on a guided tour or a cruise for the first time, that can cause you extra stress. Now, numbers vary, but Statista.com stated that only 1/3 of the American population takes about 2.5 trips a year, and almost the other third who never travel at all. And of those who are taking trips, about 50% of them are simply going to a beach. Usually the same beach over and over again. Because why? Well, most humans like predictability and safety. It takes guts and heart to do something out of your comfort zone. But I digress. You overpacking. So, how can we help? Let's make a list. Think about, do I have a weight limit or a number of bags limit that I can take? What will the weather be like? Will I have a dress code at some point on my adventure? I.e., a formal night. Will I need religious coverings? What type of shoes will I need? Etc. Will there be laundry service or laundry facilities available? Are there any restrictions on clothing, such as camouflage, women showing too much skin, offensive images or words in the country I am visiting? What can I layer so my wardrobe can look versatile? Your clothing should be weather appropriate, meaning wool socks for cold temperatures, heavier jackets, or quick drying or wicking materials for humid and rainy weather travel, or lightweight materials to cover up in the sun. Another thing to ask yourself, can your undergarments be washed in the sink? A general rule of thumb for a 7-night trip is 4 bottoms, 5 tops, 2 dressy things, shoes for active wear, shoes for dressing up, bathing suit, flip-flops, and a cover-up. Always at least 1 bathing suit. I don't care where you are going, always 1. A jacket, weather appropriate for cool evenings or freezing evenings. Hat, sunglasses, personal care items such as meds, bathroom amenities, and some sort of secured backpack or crossbody bag. My last tip here is this. It doesn't have to be stressful. You know the one person who can manage all of this for you and even provide a trip-specific packing list for you? Your travel advisor. Yes, they should be doing this for you and more. If yours isn't, reach out to ours. The link always is below. Well, that's it this time. Thank you for joining us. Please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell to stay in the loop of what's happening in the world of travel. Ta-ta for now. Wishing you safe travels and great adventures ahead.